Sa pagpapatuloy ng ating balitaan, tunghayan natin ang panayam ni Munir Jannaral kay British Ambassador Asif Ahmad sa Salam, kapayapaan, tungo sa kaunlaran.
Maraming salamat sa pagpapatuloy ng balitaan. Narito na naman tayo sa segment ng Salam, ang kapayapaan tungo sa kaunlaran. Assalamualaikum sa lahat ng mga bangsamoro sa buong Pilipinas at magandang umaga bansang Pilipinas. Ngayong umaga tayo ay pinalad na pinaunlakan ang ating imbitasyon ng isang kagalang-galang na miyembro ng Diplomatic Corps. Walang iba kung hindi si His Excellency Ambassador Asif Ahmad ng British Embassy. Assalamualaikum and magandang umaga, Ambassador. Welcome to Salam, daan sa kapayapaan, dito sa PTV4, na ngayon ay kapayapaan na tungo sa kaunlaran dahil napirmahan na ang Comprehensive Agreement on the Bangsamoro.
Maraming salamat at sa buong Pilipinas rin.
Oo. Ay, Ambassador, nakapagtataka, no? Maraming nagtataka, marunong kayo managalog. Gaano na kayo katagal sa Pilipinas?
Kunti lang. Kasi ang kahilim ng ministry, gusto siya ang lahat ng embahador pwedeng makausap
sa vernacular. O kahit konti, at least sabi nilang kasabihan, hindi na pwede ibinta. Dahil maintindihan na yan anong ibig sabihin. Kayo po ba ay kumain ng mga Filipino foods? At saka ano yung mga paborito ninyo po?
Gusto ko ng isda. Mga isda. Ng dinindeng sa Ilocos, sa Sininggang, at lahat ng isda sa Pilipinas ito ay masarap.
Let us go now, go to business. Ang British government ay for a long time ay partner ng Philippine government in terms of good governance. To what extent ang inyong program dito sa Philippines? To what extent the program of the British government in the Philippines along this line?
Now, we've been engaged with the Philippines for a long time, but I think if you look back over the last 3 or 4 years, you'll see a big shift in our emphasis. And that is because of the Asia story. You're part of a region that is growing extremely fast. You're a member of ASEAN. And for us, as we reshape our economy and start to grow ourselves, we can't just look to Europe and North America for our future. But when you do business with a country, when you engage with people, only engage if they share your values, have systems that you can trust. And that's why we believe that a democratic and mature Philippines is a far better partner than maybe how you were under martial law.
Your Excellency, are there any health programs of the British government being implemented in the Philippines right now? And if there are, what are those?
Many. Only yesterday we signed a new agreement to support how mining can be developed in this country in a more responsible way, because the history of mining here has not always been very good. We've worked with the Ombudsman's Office to help improve the way in which law is drafted or explanations are drafted and court documents are drafted so that when people take something to the legal process, it's done more quickly, because you can't wait 8, 9, 10 years for the law to proceed. If you look at human rights, the Philippines has been a strong proponent of that, and we're supporting that. But we also want to showcase the good things that have happened here. If you look at the comprehensive Bangsamoro, if you look at the way in which the Commission of Audit wants to do more open information, and eventually when your country has freedom of information, which we hope will come, we want to be able to show you our examples from the UK too.
So, with you had mentioned mo, you were able to mention the signing of that mining transparency agreement. Well, as you know, Mindanao is rich in natural resources. We have mining also. We have everything there. How do you propose exploring these natural resources without necessarily destroying the nature?
It's very important that when mining is done, it's done in such a way that everybody has a say in how it is done. Foremost, the community. You cannot rob the community of their natural resources or their future by leaving a mine in such a position that the whole environment is damaged. The businesses that engage in mining need certainty that over a 20, 30-year period they'll be able to conduct their business. But they have to then give back to the community too in terms of schools, education, and livelihoods. The government is entitled to taxation revenues. It's also entitled to enforce the law, so that if somebody does something that was not part of the agreement, then that business is held to account. And those are the principles that we are trying to promote here.
Okay, Your Excellency, with the signing of the comprehensive agreement of the Bangsamoro on March 27, as well as the submission yesterday of the Bangsamoro Basic Law to President Aquino, can you share us your thoughts and significance and its significance to foreign partners like you?
This is very significant for the country, and it's for the Philippines as a whole, and not just for Bangsamoro, because I think people are focusing all their attention on what is going to happen within Bangsamoro, what the various people from the Lumat community, the Christian community, the Muslim community, how they will coexist. That is important, but what is more important, that everybody in Manila, throughout the country, actually supports what is going on and feels that the whole country benefits from it. I was fortunate in 2008 when I was the regional ASEAN, Australia, New Zealand and the Pacific, this part of the world, sitting in London, that I actually got the UK involved in the peace process by agreeing to join the International Contact Group. So for me personally and for the country as a whole, it gives us huge satisfaction. And our Prime Minister, David Cameron, has actually written a letter which is being delivered today to the Malacanang, congratulating the Philippines on the signing of this agreement. But a lot of work needs to be done. The basic law needs to be passed. We need to have a plebiscite to determine which parts of the country will form part of this administration. And then most importantly, will the people of the area truly benefit? Because that is the real test.
Yeah, speaking of benefits, are there any British companies willing to put up their business in Mindanao, especially the soon-to-be-established Bangsamoro region in the future?
Yeah. Any investor, not just British, any foreign investor, when they look at a country, they look at a country as a whole. And if there's peace in the country, if there are good laws and good systems, that makes it more attractive. When I've been going around here, they say, oh, well, this is very, very small. It's only a small part of the island. Why are you worried about it? Well, when you're looking at a country from far away, you don't look at all the little problems. You don't, for example, when we had our problem in Ireland and Northern Ireland, people didn't even know that Ireland was a different country, largely untroubled by these difficulties. They simply said, there are problems there, let's not go there. So the message now is that it is increasingly going to be possible to do good business there. And I've already been talking to one British company who've anticipated the agreement, and they're now setting up a whole agreement with a number of barangays about palm oil. And they're basically getting the cooperatives to form themselves, helping them develop a palm oil industry, and then they'll refine it in the country and help export. So this is already happening from a British investor. So there will be many others like it. But it's also for British companies that are already in the Philippines. We are the largest investor in the Philippines from the EU. So if we are already here, if we are already in Cebu, if we're already in other parts of the Philippines, they will undoubtedly start looking at the Bangsamoro.
So what could be the possible reasons for a British company to refrain from investing in Mindanao?
Well, I think any investor in any country looks at a number of things: political stability, economic stability, whether the infrastructure is there, whether there's law and order, and whether the people are skilled or not. Now, fortunately, in this country, many of these answers are coming through already. People have education; they have a good reputation. 10 million Filipinos are working around the world. Many of them are actually working in Muslim countries. So there's no reason why people from Bangsamoro will not be able to use their talents for businesses that are over here as well. So if the Philippine story is a good one and improves, then the Bangsamoro story is connected with that. So I personally think that there are more opportunities for the country as a whole, including Bangsamoro, for foreign investors.
Thank you, Your Excellency. By the way, how is the bilateral relations between Philippines and United Kingdom as of now in terms of cultural visits, or are there any foreign exchange of cultural visits and also exchange of scholars or education?
The people-to-people links between our two countries are very, very strong. That's because we have over 250,000 Filipinos living in the UK. We have about 15 to 17,000 British people who've chosen the Philippines as their home. About 120,000 people come here each year as tourists. So the people are interacting themselves. We had just concluded a 5-month-long focus on Great Britain here in the Philippines, and we had many people, millions of people who heard about it through television and by attending. On education, we think it's a big priority for us, and the government has a scholarship program called the Achieving Scholarship Program. And we put in money, and we're going to triple that money next year, 3 times more. The number of students will be eligible for a 1-year MBA program or a master's in the UK. And the reason why we're going to be able to do even more is because I've been talking to a few Filipino companies, and they have actually joined us as well. So they're contributing financially to our scholarship program, and it will be bigger going ahead.
So so there will be more scholarship grants in the future.
3 times more.
Yeah. Because for your information, Ambassador, I have a colleague, my classmate in the College of Fisheries before, because I'm a college fisheries graduate. He took up his master's in University of Buckingham. He's Johnny Lee of Tawi-Tawi.
Yes.
And we are expecting more grantees in the future from the Bangsamoro, of course, the deserving students who could take up masteral or doctoral program.
This Achieving Scholarship Program is open to everybody in the country, and we certainly want to encourage people in the Bangsamoro area to apply. The essential thing we're looking at are people who are going to study and not look at it as a passport to live abroad, but people are going to return to the Philippines and make a contribution here. So we're going to choose candidates who think that they can make a real difference to the well-being of this country. They can apply their knowledge to help the people of the Philippines and Bangsamoro in particular. That will be a very, very strong case for being given a scholarship.
Your Excellency, we are running short of time, but nevertheless, I would like you to give your message to the Filipino people as well as to the Bangsamoro people in Mindanao. Do you have a message for them?
Yes, my message is very, very straightforward. Conflict is not unique to the Philippines. We see conflict all over the world. What you have shown here is the willingness for all sides to come together and find something for the common good. Yes, the road ahead will be difficult, but I look at the congressmen, the people in the Senate, I look at the ordinary citizens, and to all of them I say, have faith and work to a better future for the Philippines. But people need to open their hearts and minds, they need to contribute, and it's not just for the people of Bangsamoro to make this a success. Every Filipino has a stake in this. So learn from your history and build a better future.
Thank you so much. That was His Excellency Ambassador Asif Ahmad of the British government. Incidentally, he is a brother Muslim, but he is here as an ambassador extraordinary and plenipotentiary of his government, the British government. Shukran. Maraming salamat. Thank you, Ambassador, for coming over to Salam, ang kapayapaan tungo sa kaunlaran.